Now we'll take a look at how we can make assignments and discussions in Canvas. So if you use the job aid, it actually goes in through the assignments link. So when you go into your assignments, you're going to go to the assignment group where that assignment is going to be located. That's really the best way to do it. You can use the big red button at the top, but then you've got to sort it and put it in the right spot. So if I'm going to just create an exercise, then I need to go to exercises and hit the plus button. There are different types of assignments that you can create in Canvas. You can create an assignment, a discussion, a quiz, an external tool, or a not graded. So not graded is really where we'll start right now. Not graded is when you want to create something that's going to be present in your course, in your modules, and you want to put a due date on it, but you won't be assigning a grade to it. I think a great example would be like maybe a reading assignment. You want your students to have something read by Friday, but you're not going to give them a grade for that directly. Or maybe there's some sort of event or activity that's going to happen on campus. Maybe there's a lecture or a talk that's going to happen on campus, or a concert, and you want the students to go to that, and you want that due date to be present on their calendar, but you're not going to give them a grade for it. Then that would be a not graded assignment. So we're going to go up to assignment. And we're thinking more of the lines of something that's actually going to get a grade in our grade book. So assignment, give it a name, any name that you want. Don't call it assignment 1. You want to give it something that makes sense to your students. You can go ahead and give it a due date. There's a calendar, so if you want to see the actual calendar, pick the due date and give it points if you like. But obviously there's a lot more that we want to be able to do to really flesh out what that assignment's going to be for our students. So to get to the edit page from this window, I'm going to click on more options. And that's going to open up the edit page for this assignment. Now there's another way that you can actually create an assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So the other way is if you're in your modules. So within modules, you go to the module that you're working on, and you hit the plus sign, and then you add assignment. So again, you could do a new assignment right here, give it a name, it's going to go to that edit page. Or if you notice right here, assignment 1 is the assignment I just created. You can actually add that particular assignment right here in Canvas. Okay? So creating a new assignment or editing an imported assignment works out the same way. You need to get to the editing page. So from the modules screen, I can just click on that assignment, and it gives me my little preview page. But if you look at on the right side at the top, there's an edit button with a pencil. You click on it and it's going to bring up my edit page. And what you're going to notice in Canvas is the edit page is very similar in all the different types of activities. Up at the top you'll have the name. You'll have a rich text editor where you can put the instructions or the directions for that assignment. And then on the right side you'll see the content selector. So the content selector allows you to easily put links, files, and images into your rich text editor. So for an assignment, I would put what I'm wanting the students to do right here in this rich text editor. Below the rich text editor, you have your options. So the options are different based on what you're working on. Okay. So for an assignment, you'll start with points. Okay, so if you have your assignment group set up correctly, you could just make everything 100 points and keep it really simple. You can actually edit the assignment group right here. So if you notice that I didn't want exercise, I wanted a quiz, I could change it right there. You can change the way that the grade is displayed. So there's lots of different options: percentage, complete, incomplete, points, letter grade, GPA, or not graded again if you wanted a not graded assignment. Submission type. So this is where you can actually tell Canvas that it's an online assignment, an on-paper assignment. So Canvas will actually tell the students that they're going to submit this online or on paper. An external tool. So if you're working with a textbook program or some other LTI, you would use an external tool right here. This is also where you could select a video quiz. If you created a video quiz using Studio, you would use the external tool right here. Or you could say no submission. So they're getting a grade on something. Maybe it's a participation grade. So it's an observation that you've had in class, or looking at their discussion boards, but it's not something that's they're going to have to turn into you through this assignment. So let's look at the different options for an online assignment. Okay, so an online assignment can have a text entry. So if you check that, it's going to give them that rich text editor box, and they can put their answer right there. They can type a sentence, they can type a paragraph, they can type an essay. They can also use all of those same tools that you can use in the rich text editor. Okay, so they could do a table, they could do media, links to URLs, they could do the math editor, images, they could do a YouTube video, or they could even use Vimeo. Okay, or they could do the little blue V, they could actually do Arc or Studio. So they could actually record a video and import it right there if you'd like to do it that way. You could also have a website URL. So if you're specifically looking for that, you could do a media recording. So instead of them having to do that external tool thing through the rich text editor, you could just check media recordings, and that's going to give them the option when they hit to submit the assignment. It's going to actually pop up Studio and let them record right there, or they can upload a video as well. Right there within Canvas. Or you can do a file upload. So this is like a Dropbox assignment. So if they're turning in a Word doc or a PDF file or an Excel spreadsheet, you would do a file upload. And the great thing is you can even restrict the file types that you're looking for. So if it's supposed to be a spreadsheet, you can put the extensions for the Excel spreadsheet right there, and then students can't turn in a PDF or some other file type. It'll tell them that that's the wrong file type and they need to select the correct one. You can do a group assignments or peer review assignments. We don't have time in this training to really dig into that, but it's some really cool features where students can work on the same assignment, and you can go in and grade and give them that grade as that group. Or the peer reviews is really cool. It is actually a double-blind peer review, so they don't know who they're reviewing, and then when they get their assignments back, they don't know who reviewed their work. So just a great way to get some honest feedback from peers right here in Canvas. Now the assignment box is probably a really important box. Obviously, you need to know how to work it, because first and foremost, this is where you can set the due date. So notice by default it says assigned to everyone. So this is my general due date for this assignment. It's going to default for 11:59 p.m. So that's good. You can change that if you'd like by clicking on the calendar. You can change the date or the time. Okay. Below it has the availability window. So from is when it becomes available to students, and until is when it actually shuts it down. So you don't have to use that availability window, but you can. You know, if you have an assignment you don't want them to work on too early, you could put that window there. Notice the add. That's really important. Add allows you to actually specify for a group of students, a section of students if you have multiple sections in the same course, or even individual assignments. So if you have a student that is supposed to get accommodations, a student that gets extended time, or if you've got a student that emails you or talks to you and says, hey, this is going on, I need some more time, and you decide to grant that student longer time, then you can actually choose that student's name through this list and then set a different due date. So that due date, when that student logs in, they're going to see that due date that's assigned just for them. Everyone else is going to see that general due date that you set for everyone else. See, it changed it to everyone else. So that's just a great way to actually do those accommodations here in Canvas to make sure that the students that are supposed to get extended time get that extended time. Always make sure that when you're making changes on the edit page that you hit the save button or the save and publish button. If you don't save your work, you're going to lose it. So make sure that you click the red save button or the save and publish button before you try to exit the page. Now once you click save, it's going to show you, kind of give you a preview of what students will see. It'll give you that content at the top. It'll tell you how many points it's worth, how it's being submitted. So this was set at a no submission, so it says nothing. It'll list those different due dates for the different groups or different groups or those individual assignments. And then notice on this page you can actually assign a rubric for that activity as well. So that's really great because when you're going in and grading that assignment, you can actually have the rubric pulled up and you can click within that rubric and it'll assign those points to your student.